Hey, what's up, Master Trainers? This is your host, Charlie Jonas here, straight out of Pacific Valley, and today I'm gonna be explaining more rules. Alright, so in today's video, we're gonna start to talk about the cards, which regards the rule number 5. Alright, let's make sure to follow up on the website as well. This way we can come check it out deeper if it's needed. Alright, so as you know, without further ado, let's get started. Today we're gonna talk more specifically about the event cards. Alright, so first thing, players must spend their whole turn in order to use an event card. That's very important, alright? So it means if you stop at this event card space and use one, that's it for your turn. You're not able to do nothing else. Alright? And if you use one from your hand, you gotta do just that and then pass your turn. You cannot do nothing else before or afterwards. Alright. There are 3 types of event cards. The ones players can keep on their hands to be used whenever they want, just as I just mentioned. The ones that just must be used right away, that's very important. And the ones that can be used right away or discarded with no consequences. Okay, so here we can see we have 3 different icons. So now let's go and check it out which one of them we can find on each category. In order to be able to keep a card, players must have room enough for it or discard one from their hands. Otherwise, they must discard the one they just draw. Okay, so let's go and understand quite better. Let's say I just draw 3 item cards and I can hold up to 5, alright? Then I go ahead and I stop at an event card space. This time I'm gonna be able to draw one and keep it if that's the case. Alright, so let's say I don't have room enough for it and I already have 5 of them and I draw a new one. I could either go ahead, check it out which one this one is. If it's better than the one I have, I could go ahead, discard one of mine and keep the one I just drew. Otherwise, if I don't have any room and I'm not up to discard any of mine because I judge it that the new one isn't better than any of the ones I have, I just go and return it to the deck. That's how it works. So now let's go and check what is each one of them. Let's move on to the website and check the event card specific page. This way we can have a more visual content. Alright, so here we are. Let's go and check it. There are a total of 22 different types of event cards so far in the game series. They are divided in 3 big groups. The ones that must be used right away, the ones that can be used right away or discarded with no consequences, and the ones that can be kept. Alright, for the ones that can be kept, duel time. This card allows the player to challenge another player to a Pokemon fight and can be used against another player within the same color region. Duel battles, player versus player, worth twice more experience points than normal battle. Okay, so now we're talking about this card right here, okay? Duel time. Choose a player to battle against. The loser resets the map. So every player versus player is going to end with the loser resetting the map. Doesn't matter if through an event card or any other kind possible, alright? So that's how it looks like and that's how it works. So the only here we gotta pay attention here is like, let's say I'm there at the blue region and then the other player is right here at the green one. If one of us use a duel time event card, none of us will be able to duel against each other since we don't share the same region. Although the scenario is going to be completely different by the time we share the same region. Alright? The only exception for this rule is the trip space regarding battle tower or battle spaces, which I already covered on the previous video. If you don't know or if you didn't see it, I'm gonna leave this video up there in the cards. Alright? Let's go ahead and check the next one. Legendary allows the player to go to a legendary Pokemon spot on the map. Okay, I already covered this one in this series where I explained the rules. So if you didn't see, I'm also going to leave the video up there, alright? So this is this card right here, which says, go to a legendary Pokemon spot on the map according to the region you are at. No mystery. Officer Jenny, regarding the team player mode, releases a hijacked player from the team's hijack. Okay, so this is gonna be explaining better further on, but so far that's what it does, and that's how this card looks like. If playing team player mode, use this card to release yourself or another player from team's hijack instead of having to face them. Okay, let's go ahead now and check the Chansey and the Poké Center. Allow the players to revive, aka become active again, their Pokemon. Although Poké Center also restore the player's energy coins. Okay, so now we have a difference here regarding the amount of Pokemon we will be able to revive, and also that one of them restores the player's energy coins as well. So the Chansey card is this one right here, and it says, use your turn to revive up to 3 Pokemon. Okay, so no big deal. And Poké Center, use your turn to revive all your Pokemon and to restore all your energy. So that's the difference between both, alright? Now let's go and talk about the Hoopa's Loop. This card allows the player to take up to 2 item cards from another player's hand. Oh, that's very lame, isn't it? So yeah, so this card right here, and it's deemed because this content isn't available yet so far, although we can check it out how it looks and what it says. Hoopa's Loop. Use this card to take up to 2 item cards from another player's hand. Yeah, that's such a sly move. Different than the original ones, here instead of trading Pokemon involuntarily, you could just simply borrow a couple item cards from the other players. I bet they won't be satisfied about it. Although there's one thing to pay attention here, which is that such action shall be done blindly, alright? So if I go ahead and just use that card, I have to come here and simply pick 2 cards from the other player's hand. In a way, I'm not knowing which one I'm picking. So if the player wants, can shuffle the cards, and after that I'm gonna go ahead and simply pick 2 of them. Okay? So I gotta pick them without knowing which one I'm picking. That's the only rule regarding it. Okay, let's keep going. Then we have Ultra Wormhole. This card allows the player to exchange a Pokemon chip for an Ultra Beast, the ones with the black front, of the same region's color. The black chip shall come to the game flipped up, and the picking shall be according to the first chip the player finds. Okay, this one is a little more complex. So it is this card right here, Ultra Wormhole. It's also not available yet. So if you want to have those cards available, go ahead and help me spread this game. This way I can reach the goals of 6,000 subscribers and eventually 7,000 to release these both cards. Okay, so exchange a Pokemon chip for an Ultra Beast 1 of the same color of the region you are at. The new chip shall come flip up. Okay, so this one is a slightly more complex to understand. So let's say I'm here at the green region, alright, and then I'm moving around and I stop at an event card and I draw one of those cards. Remember that all of these cards are the ones that can be kept in the player's hand. That's why they have such icon like 2 cards. Okay, so they all belong to the same group, which is the ones that players can keep. Okay, so let's say that just happened. It's up to me to do it right now or to keep it and do it whatever I want. Although the thing we gotta pay attention here is that once I use that card, I gotta go ahead, pick one chip from the same region I am at. Doesn't matter if it's flip it up or flip it down. So I will just simply go ahead, throw it back into the bag, and search the bag for a black chip one. So let's say I just did it, and the first one I'm going to find, and in this case the only one, is going to be Poipo. Then I should go ahead and draw Poipo from the bag and keep it facing up here on the board, in a way that from this point in beyond, all players in the game will know that Poipo is right there to be caught. Alright? And of course, if I do the same thing in a region which offers more than one option of black chip, I gotta do it in a way. Let's say I just gonna go ahead and grab this Pokemon, throw it back, and then search for a black one. And the one that I must pick is the one that came first, which in this case is this one right here, Naganadel. That's such a coincidence, huh? The evolution of Poipo, I just found it once again later on. So that's how it works, alright? The first one that I see within the bag is going to be the one I'm going to pick to bring up to the board, okay? So that's how you should do it. And now let's talk about the last card within this group, which is Pokecamp. This card allows players to revive all their Pokemon chips and also grants them 3 experience points each, besides restoring all the players' energy coins as well. So this card is like an improved Poké Center. You're not only reviving all your Pokemon, not also getting all your energy restored, but even giving 3 experience points for each of your Pokemon. Okay? So remember that these Pokemon are restricted to the ones you have on your hands. Okay? They're with you, not on your stash, because the ones on the stash wouldn't be able to join the Pokecamp. Alright? And don't forget that this kind of experience is already doubled if we were talking about your affinity type. If you don't know what's affinity type and how it works, I'm also gonna leave the video up there in the cards. Alright, and before we keep going, I gotta ask you something. Would you like to become an etymology master just like me and get to know that Weavile's name comes from the words weasel and vile, because it's the vile weasel? If you like it that and wants to learn everything you need to know behind each Pokemon name's origin, so you should check it out the video I'm gonna be leaving up there in the cards. This video regards my online course, which is called Etymology Master. So they're gonna be explaining everything you need to know in a very quick, fun and visual way. And besides being able to learn potential 100 new words for your vocabulary, you also earn an Etymology Master certificate. So don't forget to check it out. Okay, now let's move on and talk about the second group, which is the ones that must be used right away. Alright, so by the moment I draw it, I gotta use it no matter what. And these cards have this icon right here. Okay, so that's how you know you shall use it right away. So we have the weather/environment, which makes a player to roll a die, which is a D20, to deploy or define a weather or environment condition. And I just talked about this rule on the 2 previous videos. If you didn't see it, I'm gonna leave the video up there in the cards as well. So this card is this one right here, and it says, the weather tree have clashed again. The weather and or environment conditions might change now. Roll the dice to determine these changes. Okay? So again, go ahead and watch the video, because you're going to understand everything that's going to come afterwards. Sabotage works against the players and force them to flip 1 or 2 Pokemon chips in their hands, which I also explained on the previous videos along with the Team Rocket. So Sabotage, the teams are striking remotely too. All players must flip an active Pokemon from their hands. So players have to go ahead and flip 1 active Pokemon from their hands, is exactly what it says, okay? And Team Rocket, which is just the example here, could be any other team. In this case says, surrender now or prepare to fight. If you lose the battle, they take your Pokemon imprisoned, which does exactly what it says. You gotta go ahead, fight their respective rival card, and if they win, they're gonna take your Pokemon and score 1 point. Again, if you want to understand it better, just watch the previous videos. Distortion Ward works against the players, forcing them to reset the map, to go back to the yellow space on the next turn. The Renegade Pokemon Giratina just opened a portal to the Distortion Ward right next to you. Reset the map on your next turn. So if players draw that card, on the next turn they're gonna be starting all over from the yellow space. Forces of Nature allows the player to choose any weather condition. This is a very cool card which comes on Generation 5 in regards the genies. Okay, let's check it out what it says. The legendary genies appeared to grant you a chance of controlling the weather. Choose any of the weather's options to be cast. So that's very cool, since you're gonna be able to choose the one that suits you better, okay? They're gonna grant you a huge advantage against the other players and also the game. And the last one of this group is the Darkest Day. Works against the players and force them to flip all their Pokemon chip able to Gigantamax. Let's see how it looks and what it says. The Dynamax has turned the day into night. All Pokemon able to Gigantamax must be flipped out. Alright, so it's very similar to Sabotage, although it's not restricted to a certain amount of Pokemon. Okay, if you have 5 of them that could Gigantamax, you're gonna have to flip all of them. So you flip all of the Pokemon, although it only works for Gigantamaxing ones, which are the ones with the pinkish X on the art. Okay, let's go ahead and grab an example of one of them. Alright, so here we have Eevee, and Eevee is a good example of a Pokemon that could Gigantamax. Alright, so if Eevee was in your hand, by the time you draw that card, you gotta go ahead and flip it down. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about the last group, which is the ones that can be used or discarded right away. Item cards allow the players to draw 1 or 2 item cards. So that's pretty much what it does. You draw it, if you're down to do it, you do it. If you don't, you just go ahead and return it. Okay, so one allows you to draw 1 and the other one allows you to draw 2. Celebi works as a counter against the Team Rocket 1. Okay, let's go ahead and see what it says. The mythical Pokemon Celebi has appeared. If each player sets free one Pokemon of their hands, the Guardian of the Forest will use its time travel powers to move the team's marker 1 space backwards. And I already explained better how it works on the previous videos. So again, just go ahead and check it out. Jirachi concedes the players 1 wish, which is a benefit, okay? Finding a Pokemon means to face it in battle. Alright, so it's very important. So Jirachi is also not available so far, but let's see what it says. The Wishing Star Pokemon Jirachi just appeared in the sky. Make your wish to find a Pokemon you want of the same color you are at, or to get an item card you want. Okay, so just like the Ultra Wormhole, if I use a Jirachi right here, I'm gonna be able to find a Pokemon I want within the same color I'm at. Okay, so let's say I want desperately a Pokemon which I know it's a green label one, so Jirachi will allow me to face it. So I'm gonna be able to come here and search for it and put it on the battle arena and fight against it. Okay, if I prefer, I could just go ahead and simply search the item cards for the item I'm looking for. That's how you take your wish. And talking about wish, things are going to get serious now. Arceus concedes, gives to the player 1 Pokemon also from the same region, or the chance to reset the team's scoreboard. Okay, so Arceus could act like a buffed Celebi, alright? By the time that Celebi only nerfs Team Rocket 1 by 1, Arceus could go ahead and reset it down to the 0, okay? So it's very powerful. Or it could simply give you a Pokemon. Works just like the Jirachi, but instead of finding it into the bag and facing it, Arceus are going to allow you to choose any Pokemon from the region you are at. So let's say we have here a bunch of Pokemon within the green region. Then I'm going to be picking any of them. I could rather choose the ones which I already know which they are, or the unveiled ones. Okay, that's how Arceus works. So now let's see what it says. Arceus. The god Pokemon Arceus just appeared to you. He can grant you any Pokemon inside the color you're at, or reset the team score, just like as I said. Space and time allows the player to go to any city space they have been before and they are allowed to go. Okay, so time and space regards Palkia, and the time Pokemon Dialga and the space Pokemon Palkia just manipulated time and space for you. Move to any city space you are allowed to go to. So this is like a counter for Giratina's card. So by the time Giratina sends you back to Palette or to the start space, time and space allows you to go back to any city you are allowed to go to. Okay, so remember, to be allowed to go to, you gotta meet the requirements for advancing the regions, which I'm also explaining on another video, and have been there before, just like the fly, alright, which I'm already explained on a previous video, so no big deal here. Stone Key concedes the player one Stone Key, which will allow them to Mega Evolve a Pokemon. The Stone Key also allows the player to draw up to 3 item cards at a city space instead of only 2. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see what it says. Grab a Stone Key to be able to use a Mega Stone to Mega Evolve a Pokemon. Alright, so if a player draws their card, they gotta go all the way up there at the Stone Key bag and simply grab a Stone Key badge. Okay, so these 2 badges right here are achievable like that. You know, once players have it, they will never lose it, just like the other badges. Okay, so this badge, I just need to leave the pointer on it to see what it does. Draw up to 3 item cards now instead of only 2 at city spaces. Okay, so besides that, it will also allow me to use Megastone item cards, which we are going to check on the next video. So you gotta remember to draw up to 3 item cards now on all the city spaces players are able to draw cards. Now the last but not least, we're going to talk about the XP share. Concedes the player 1 XP share, which will allow them to share XP with their other active Pokemon in their hands. That's extremely important, alright? So it regards the active ones. It will only be possible when a Pokemon wins a battle, not double KO, and the receiving Pokemon must always earn 1 experience point, independently from the experience point amount provided to the victorious one. Okay, so this one is slightly more complex to understand, however I'm gonna exemplify it for you. Okay, let's go ahead and say that I have a couple Pokemon here in my hand, like this, okay? And let's say they have a couple experience points, like this. Let's just go ahead and draw an affinity type as well, which this time is electric. And let's go and flip this one down. Okay, so now let's say my Bulbasaur here just fought against Drizzle, and then it won. Okay, so Bulbasaur won against Drizzle. When a pink wins against a green, it gets 2 experience points. Okay, so after the battle, let's say I just caught it like this, it's going to go to my hand. Bulbasaur comes back because I won it, wasn't a double KO, okay? So my Bulbasaur beat it up, fair and square. So now Bulbasaur would be receiving 2 experience points, and that's it. Although, if I drew that card and came all the way up here and grabbed a experience share badge, by this time, instead of just Bulbasaur earning 2 points, all the other active Pokemon is going to earn 1 experience point as well. So it's going to be 1 for Applin and 1 for Toxel. Or not, this time it's going to be 2 for Toxel, because it should be 1, but it's 2 since it is my affinity type, electric. Okay, So it goes one for each, but you always have to remember your affinity type. So that's how the experience share works. It's going to share experience with all the active Pokemon you have on your hands, as far as one of your Pokemon wins a battle without being knocked out. It doesn't count for the ones on your stash. To go ahead and farm them, we're gonna have to use the Poke Job. But don't worry, you're gonna cover these cards further on the next videos. Alright, so now let's just go and see what it says. Grab an experience share to be able to provide one experience to each active Pokemon after each victorious battle. So that's it, okay? Alright, so I know this video was a little longer than the usual ones, but it was for a good reason. Now you know all the kinds of event card and how each one of them work. Also, don't forget that there's an epic version of this map which regards a crossover between Pokemon and Lord of the Rings. So if you always wonder how could it be to be Master Trainer in Middle-earth, you don't have to wonder anymore. Just go ahead and check it out, the video I'm gonna be leaving up there in the cards. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media, this way you stay tuned for any new content. And if you want to see me playing this game live, make sure to follow me on the Purple website, because they're gonna be starting to play this game live very soon and almost every day. And of course, if you like to know these rules and are excited about learning even more, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, to subscribe and share this video with all the other people we want to play this game with. Okay, this way they can get to know the rules as well. Also, don't forget to share this video to help me out reaching my next goal of 8,000 subscribers. And here in this channel, every time I reach a goal, you guys earn a prize, which this time is going to be new content for the channel and also a new map for you to play. If you like to use the website, I just want to remind you that you could also go ahead and click on the download button to be able to request access for all the printable files of this game series so far. In this way, you're gonna be able to print it out and assemble your own physical version just like a huge DIY. Although, in order to have access to the files, you gotta be a subscriber and to leave a comment down below to let me know you did it and informing me the first half of your email. Just follow the instructions on the pinned comment. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description for everything I just said, and also to find a list of very cool products I recommend. This way, you're gonna help support this channel even more. That's it for this video. I hope you guys like it, and I see you on the next one.